Hey there, it's me, Nate, and today I want to give you guys my review of The Time of Contempt by Andrzej Sapkowski. Now this is the fourth Witcher book. The first, because it's a second of the novels, but is the fourth Witcher book, after the first two short story books, The Last Wish, The Sword of Destiny, the first novel, The Blood of Elves, and now The Time of Contempt. So it's 4 books in. There's going to be... I'm not going to spoil Time of Contempt, but there might be light spoilers for the first 3 books. Because I don't know how you can talk about the 4th book in a series without slightly, giving away some details about the prior 3 books. So, with that out of the way, let's get into The Time of Contempt. This, from what I can, see from what I saw online, is often considered by a lot of people to be the worst Witcher book. I don't think it's the worst one. I still think that Sword of Destiny is the worst Witcher book out of the ones I've read so far. This is a mixed bag of a book. There are parts that I really like, and there's a lot that I really dislike, or I found, what's the word for it? I don't know, they kind of felt like padding or like a waste of time. In this book, continuing on from Blood of Elves, we have, Ciri and Yennefer together, and, Geralt is off, kind of trying to follow after them. And I have to say that out of the 3 main characters between Ciri, Yennefer, and Geralt, I think my favorite character is actually Ciri. Which is surprising, because she's, like, the youngest character. She's 14, I believe, in the book. But I find her, when she's, separate from Yennefer and Geralt, or, whenever we get, the chapters from her perspective, I find that to be the most interesting and compelling parts of this book. Because, honestly, whenever Yennefer and Geralt are together, I feel like that is when the Witcher books are at their worst. Whether it was in Sword of Destiny or whether it's in this, I find the Yennefer and Geralt, when those 2 characters are together, I find that it honestly really slows everything down. Because inevitably, and seemingly every story, Yennefer and Geralt will be together for a while, and then they get separated, and then for the rest of that book, Geralt will spend the rest of the time moping and pining over Yennefer without actually doing anything of interest. So that's really annoying. I will say, though, there is this party scene, a gathering, a conclave of the sorcerers and enchantresses. That was interesting, but then immediately after that part, things really fall off a cliff before it's the book is kind of saved by the last third of the book. I'm trying to speak in vague terms as much as I can, not to give too much away. But yeah, I can see why people really dislike this book, why it's their least favorite of the series. I think this book is okay. I'm gonna give it a 3 out of 5. On my scale. That's an okay book. It's an alright time. It's not bad. It's not good either. It's kind of just right there in the middle. It's kind of an average book. I'm still going to continue on with the series, obviously. I already ordered Baptism of Fire, which is the next novel. So I got that on the way. So hopefully I can get to that in May or June, I think I will. But I don't know, I can't really get too much into Time of Contempt without really giving away a whole lot of spoilers. I think Ciri gets a lot of character growth here, especially in the last third of the book, which is pretty much all Ciri based. And I found her direction that her character goes in, I found that to be really interesting. And then Geralt and Yennefer were okay. I feel the first third of the book, when Geralt and Yennefer were separated, I found both of their, I found it interesting. The middle part where they're together it took a dive, and then like the series stuff at the end was kind of like the best part. But that's just my take. And I don't think the bad parts of this book, make this an awful read, but it took out a lot of enjoyment. Like, there was like a tension building climactic kind of moment, and you could like kind of, okay, so like I was, as I was reading, I was thinking, well, this will probably happen, and then the way that Sapkowski kind of like writes out the scene, he takes all of the attention out, all of the drama out of the moment, and I was like, oh, it was like really deflating, and so that was really a disappointing moment. And like one final note before I wrap this up, I guess, the word contempt in this book is used so much. I don't think I'll ever be able to hear the word contempt again without thinking about this book. I think if you were reading like a digital, like an ebook of this, and you went Control F, and then search for contempt, you'd find the word contempt at probably like over 100 times. It's like it is cool when you're reading a book, and like you find like the title of the book inside the book, and it's like, oh, they said the thing. That's a cool moment. In this book, them saying contempt or time of contempt, or like this era of contempt, it's so much, I swear. Especially like the second half of the book, they say it so much. They say it multiple times in the chapter, and I'm like, oh, Lord. It just like it got to be amusing at a point where I was like, come on, like really? Like you can't think of it any other way to talk about this subject. But I don't know if that's more of a translation thing, because a lot of Witcher fans, especially like European Witcher fans, say that the English translation of the Witcher books is really bad. But since I don't speak Polish or one of the other, languages that the books have been translated into, I have no perspective on that. But from my understanding, the English translation of these books is supposedly the worst translation. So maybe that's not as much of an issue in other books, but I found that to be annoying and then amusing. But yeah, Time of Contempt is definitely, there are some things I like about it more than Blood of Elves. There are a lot of things I like about it less than Blood of Elves. And overall, I do like it less than Blood of Elves. I thought Blood of Elves was a good book. I think this is like an okay book. But I want to see where it goes from here, because I really haven't heard much bad about the other novels. It's mostly people saying that Time of Contempt was like a real low point. So hopefully it's all up from here. Like, it's all upwards trajectory. So hopefully that is the case. But yeah, that's my review and my thoughts on Time of Contempt. So if you could, like the video and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, have a good day.